Good
morning.
Good morning.
We should actually say good morning usually because we do post it in the morning. But I know you listen to it at different times. But
Good morning.
good morning.
Welcome back to the Pay Attention podcast.
I'm back from my little hiatus. Sorry, guys.
This is not Josh anymore. This is Neva now.
I'm back. I thought, you know what? You deserved a break from my voice for 1 week. So,
I don't think your voice is that annoying.
do you think?
My voice still isn't recovered. Like, my voice is still
Yeah, I would.
in its
Do you know what?
husky era.
In future, I want to strap a GoPro to you when you go on a night out because I need to know what went on that night that your voice literally was gone for a week and a half afterwards.
It wasn't even the night out. It was
crazy.
we came back to my house at 2 a.m. or 2:30 and sang
Yeah, see, this is
and
it.
sang until 6 in the morning. I'm not joking.
I just want to know what ballads you were singing. It was probably Taylor Swift, to be honest, that you were literally just like...
Do you know what? I could have it in my Spotify history.
So funny, like...
I know for sure we were singing Grace.
Oh, I love that song when I'm... Oh, do you know when I get drunk, guys, the rebel in me comes out, like, I'm literally singing the most patriotic songs you could ever get. Like, love it.
Yeah, no.
Love a bit of that.
There was every ballad you could think of we were singing. Joe, Amen. Fuck what I said, it don't mean shit now.
Oh my god, that was so good back in the day.
Yeah, everything.
It's like, I don't want you back.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Such a tune.
Yeah.
I feel like all those songs are making such a massive comeback. Actually, did you see, well now you would have seen by the time you've seen, but I woke up this morning, first thing I seen, Timbaland and Nelly Furtado have a song coming out 1st of September.
No, you're joking.
I swear to God, music
If
has
we
come
ever
to be
meet
saved.
again, that's Katy Perry, but
Yeah.
it's still one of my favourites.
Say It Right is the one you're thinking of.
Yeah, I am.
Oh my God, love it. And I love, like, oh my God, just love it. Do you know what? Timbaland is probably one of the best producers ever of all time.
I love Timbaland.
His work.
And I feel like now I could be regretting saying this, and knowing our luck on the podcast, something will come out about him the day before this airs.
Oh, I know.
I feel like he's unproblematic though.
I agree. I don't
Hopefully.
think he's done anything really that we know of. Allegedly.
Do you know what? We never know. But for now, we think he's unproblematic.
I think it would be safe to say of anyone you'd be thinking of, you'd be like, yeah, Timbaland is unproblematic. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Joe's not unproblematic in the music industry though.
Yeah.
He was having an awful time this week.
Oh, I would have forgotten to bring this up. Go on, take it away because this is
Scooter. Okay. Scooter Braun, 6 years ago, Taylor Swift announced her Reputation album. And that was her comeback album. Or no, 6 years ago she announced the re-recordings.
Yes.
4 years ago. I don't know. I have all the dates. I've sent you everything.
I have all
I'm
the
like,
dates
where
saved.
are they? I've saved so much of this information because
When
I
I
want to
saw
get
it
right.
happening, it was so funny.
Yeah,
It was
it
like Taylor's karma is so real.
Taylor's karma is so real.
Yeah, love it.
Wait, I'm gonna get it.
Actually love that for her though. The actual justice like that's happening to Scooter Braun now is crazy. Like, I saw one out of the a million things I've seen about him being like, oh, he just doesn't want to be in the talent management thing anymore. I was like, no, he does not just want to randomly leave it. That's his bread and butter. That is where he's made all of his money. Like, something is going to come out.
Like you'd say, so 4 years ago today, which is the day which everything has came out about Scooter Braun, was the day that Taylor Swift confirmed reports that she would be re-recording her previous studio albums following the Masters dispute. If anyone doesn't know, the Masters dispute is where Taylor basically didn't own any of her own music, and he sold it.
Yeah.
He owned it all. She didn't own anything. And 6 years ago, this is the kicker. The 6 years.
And also, can I just say, the Masters is where you make the most money on a song. Like, there's so many points in the music industry and how money gets distributed. And with the Masters, I just know because my brother is like the main place where they make the money off of the song. So he would have been making a lot of money off of Taylor Swift.
Oh, so much money.
Yeah, it's crazy. But that whole point system is crazy in the music industry about who gets what and when.
That's what I mean. Like, so it was 6 years ago today then.
Yeah.
That she like had the biggest comeback of all time.
Crazy.
With Look What You Made Me Do.
Oh my God.
Ooh, look what you made me do.
Look what
So that was after her disappearing for months.
Yeah.
right? Like 6 years ago today was the 4 years, it was the same. So 4 years ago today, she announced re-recordings.
Yeah.
And then 6 years ago today, she announced her return to social media with her Reputation era. And the fact that that happened on the exact date with Scooter Braun.
Crazy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Idina Menzel. What's her?
Haven't a clue what she does. I seen this. I was like, who is she?
She's the... Remember your man from... your man from Greece.
Oh, yeah. What's his name? Johnny Cash or something? No.
Did you say Johnny Cash?
Oh, not Johnny Cash. Who's around Grease Lightning? John Travolta. Johnny Cash's I stepped into the burning ring of fire. Yeah, love him as well, by the way. King. That was a tune.
So John Travolta, remember John Travolta at that music awards, and he was like, it didn't because he couldn't pronounce his name. Remember that video?
I never knew that was her now.
That's her. She Let It Go.
So funny.
Like the actual version of Let It Go. She's the one who sings it.
Really?
Yeah, she's a Broadway singer. Anyway, she was also, so Demi Lovato, Justin Bieber, Idina Menzel, and just whoever else Scooter had.
What a fucking
They all dropped him. But do you know what?
Snap.
Should they not, Ariana Grande, should they not have all done it years ago? They were probably all in contracts.
I'm going to pause there for a second. Guys, I apologise for my cursing. I'm trying to make a conscious decision to not curse anymore. So when I said, you know what, I was trying to be like, I'm not going to curse anymore. But anyway, continue. I agree. They should have done it years ago. And also, I've seen
like tweets. After all that came out about Taylor, and you're just going to stay with Scooter Braun.
I literally saw tweets of Demi Lovato and Ariana Grande. Well, Demi Lovato was defending him.
Yeah, she was.
Ariana Grande was just supporting things, and they were like, oh, they've wanted to leave for years, they haven't supported him. I was like, that's bullshit. They have. Like, I just feel like, but also then at the same time, maybe he goes after people that are very easily manipulated and vulnerable, because you have to think, right? Justin Bieber was a child when he went after him. Ariana Grande was also very young and naive, and he also manipulated her and took advantage of a situation when what horrible shit has happened to her, although not defending her at the moment because I know she's done some bad stuff, but she did have a really rough patch there, and he was very manipulative in that situation.
Yeah, she had to go on tour. She had to.
Yeah, she was very vulnerable. You know that Demi Lovato has substance abuse issues, and she's had an eating disorder. She's also very easily she's vulnerable, and she's very easy to manipulate, and you'll always find narcissists.
Scooter Braun's a bad man.
Will go for people that
Allegedly.
they know that they can literally control, and I think that that's what he's done. I think he's literally been like, I'm gonna go here now and take advantage of this situation, and what an asshole.
As a Swiftie, we love to see it.
Yeah, and I'm converted now.
What's coming out? What's coming out?
Do you know what? I actually think we'll have to do an emergency breaking podcast when it comes out.
Breaking news.
I'm literally, if I'm working, I'm like on meeting, I'm just like, hello, sorry, gotta go, hang up. I'll be like, family emergency, and then I'll run down here and be like, guys.
I'd love, because a lot of things happen in real time that we, like the Bank of Ireland thing.
Oh my
that
God,
happened
I
recently.
know.
It happened. So we released not Josh's episode, the episode before Josh.
We recorded it on the Monday too, which was so annoying.
We recorded on the Monday, and on the Tuesday.
That's what happened.
Basically, if you don't know, one of Ireland's like main banks.
Yeah.
Bank of Ireland.
Yeah. So funny.
Had the most royal fuck up.
So bad.
I think in history.
It's happened to them before. They've really poor online banking infrastructure, and apparently the people who hacked
into cyber security allegedly.
Yeah, that's what I was at about. But they, you know, the people who hacked into it just wanted to prove a point of how bad it was to show Bank of Ireland. Isn't that crazy? They were like, we just want to show you how weak it is, and they hacked into it to be like, look how bad it is.
So the first thing that went wrong was the app was down all day. People weren't able to check their balances, use their card, transfer, do all that. And then, I don't know, who figured it out? Yeah. Or do you think it was an inside leak? Like, who figured out?
I don't know.
I was sitting up there. Now, I didn't find out till about, I'd say 9 or 10 o'clock.
This is where I
found out via Twitter.
I also think this is where it goes to prove a point of Ireland is so small. So when we're talking about dating men in Ireland, the fact that Bank of Ireland had a glitch and the whole of Ireland knew in about 20 minutes just goes to show how small the whole country is, because everybody knew. Like every single person in Ireland knew that.
Well, it was all young people who knew first, because my mom, none of their friends, but it spread via social media. So basically, if you were a Bank of Ireland customer, you were able to withdraw money that you didn't have.
That's crazy.
So the key to this was, obviously, if you had 10 grand in your Bank of Ireland account, you weren't able to do it, or were you? You'd have to withdraw 11 grand. So you were able to withdraw a grand extra.
It's literally, you'd have to take out an extra what you didn't have, but like...
Or you were able to transfer it into Revolut.
Oh, it was so funny. One of the boys like tried to add 2.5 million to his Revolut account, and then he was joking with it. He tried to add 5 grand, and then he added a grand, and the grand went in, and he was like, oh my God.
Yeah, because loads of people would have had like old student accounts that they would have never used. I saw a tweet and someone was like, oh, my friend in America has a student account that they don't use, and they chanced it.
Oh my God.
That they'd never use. There was no money in it, and they live in America now, so like,
that is so funny.
Do you know what I mean? We're not condoning robbing the banks, but also
it's just the irony, like
the karma, because Bank of Ireland announced that week, I think. Was it the same week?
I don't know, was it?
That they announced like 1 point something billion in profits.
Oh, well, see, now there you go.
That was the karma of it all.
That is so funny.
That's why everyone was like, do you know what?
I just think it's so funny that happened. That is the most Irish
thing. Yeah, so like the ATMs were, like there was pictures on social media. ATMs were jointed. People were taking out money they didn't have. Then the guards were guarding the ATMs, which isn't...
Yeah.
There was uproar over that, because it's like, where are the guards?
Yeah.
And then...
And apparently, sometimes they didn't do it, but in some they did, and the guards were like, oh, they use their discretion or whatever. Speaking of guards, do you see that there's armed police in the Dublin city centre now? Walking around, there's massive police presence because it's gotten so violent. Armed police. What are we, America? Like, honestly, it's crazy.
I was in Dublin recently. I didn't see that, but I know there was uproar recently because there was like there was a lot of crime.
9 a.m. in the morning, and he was on the way to work, and they shot him.
So there's been a lot of crime, so that's why I think there's armed police now, because there was a lot of crime and everyone's giving out that there's no presence of the guards.
Yeah.
Then the ATM thing happened. Then there was guards everywhere.
I think
everyone was like, hello. You're guarding the ATMs, but you're not guarding people.
Yeah, and I agree. And do you know what? I'm not for gun thing, but to be honest, how scary it is in Dublin, they're not afraid of the guards. I saw this documentary on Twitter last night, and it was so sad. It was like one of the guards that left after 15 years, he was like, there's an easier way to pay the mortgage. And you know what? They're put in such scary situations.
In like Dublin.
Yeah. It's so sad, so scary. But like, crazy. I think it's mad that they're just walking around the street with guns now.
I didn't see. I think if I saw that, I'd be like, because Joe, when you see the when they're taking money from the banks, like as in the armies there, when they're like doing the cash, like that's kind of scary.
Yeah, that is very scary.
We're so sheltered, like that we find that sheltered. Like, sorry.
I was in Manchester Airport, and like in the airport, there's guys walking around with.
Sorry, I was on the streets of Brazil, like as in. Oh my God, could see anything. Like, Brazilian police are so hot though. I feel like all like Spanish.
Of course, your brain went there.
Like you'd see these like men, and they have these like massive.
Yeah. That is so crazy, to be fair. Do you know what's so weird though? I feel like if I saw it in America, I'd be like, okay, well that's normal. But here I'm like, what the fuck? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're like, oh, it's not that deep.
I think it's really not that deep, but honestly, I just feel like we're so sheltered, we haven't a clue that we're just like, what's going on? Like, you know, but it's so funny. Like, honestly, like sometimes I'm like, what way does my brain work? Like, how do we end up on that?
We were literally talking about the Bank of Ireland scandal. So anyway, so loads of people got money, which I mean, you know what? If someone was on the breadline and they had a chance to get €1,000 extra before going back to school,
I'd do it. No, I wouldn't. Sorry. I forget that this is a video podcast. There's actual proof. Do you know what? Thankfully, I don't need to do it.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
But I'm also not.
Hypothetically, if you were on the breadline.
Yeah, I would.
Because technically it's like a loan.
Yeah, technically it is.
If you had no money, €1,000 to someone who has €1,000 is a lot of money.
Do you know why I got denied a loan from the credit union? Literally
They give
every
everyone
Tom,
a
Dick
loan.
and Harry gets a fucking loan from the credit union.
But how do you have an account with them?
Yeah, I do, but obviously I haven't put money in ages because I don't have the card because I don't like...
No, either do I.
I say if I have the card, I can just get the money easy. I just want to not be able to get the money easy. But I went to go get a loan there, like before, I think it was before I went to America. This is actually ridiculous. They said, oh, because you have a business, you can apply for a small business loan.
Oh,
so I said,
and then they denied the small business
no,
loan.
they denied me on both. They said, right, so the first thing is they were like, oh, we're going to actually put it through as a small business loan. I gave them every piece of information that they needed, everything that they required, because also the business loan was less interest and it was like shorter months, so I wouldn't be over like 2 years, whatever. So that was denied, and I goes, well, why would you do that? Like, I'm going to America soon. I would have just done the personal loan. And she goes, but you can't do the personal loan either because you haven't deposited in the last 2 months. And I was like, I know for a fact that if I had no money,
do like a car loan or something.
do you know? I still wouldn't have gotten it because I haven't put money in the last 2 months.
And also, see, this is the issue. They're always harder on people with their own businesses because they're seen as riskier, even though you might be earning 5 times the amount of money as like...
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I only realised how recently I was like, oh my god, like when that happened, I was like, I'm actually going to be in trouble when I try to go for a mortgage because I have my own business.
Yeah, those things like...
It's bullshit, like...
Yeah,
they literally encourage enterprise and then you do it and they're just like, oh, well actually you can't get a loan.
Yeah, because you're too risky.
Like, fuck you, like...
Sorry.
But honestly, I thought that was bullshit.
That's why most like multimillionaires have gone bankrupt. Is like they're so good at earning money, but like entrepreneurs. If you're entrepreneurial, you can try your hand. You're like,
but what do you mean by going bankrupt?
Like most entrepreneurs who go bankrupt,
yeah,
will earn it back again. Like that's like a statistic,
true.
Because most entrepreneurs who are really successful are really good at earning money and, you know, making things happen. Yeah. So they're actually not risky at all. But the thing about entrepreneurs is they will risk, I think, and that's why the issue is. Like they'll take bigger risks to get bigger rewards.
I'm just like, you knew how much I made. You saw how regularly it came into my account, and I even said, can I pay it back sooner than that? They said, oh, we'll give you a
and sometimes they make you put like a big hold in your account, like your credit union account.
Like, I just know for a fact that if any random person walked in today and didn't even have a credit union account, they would have gotten that loan, and I didn't. And I just was so pissed off at it. So now I'm boycotting the credit union.
And it's so mad because the credit union's probably like one of the most trustworthy banks.
Yeah, but now they can honestly...
What about Revolut? Did you try for a Revolut loan?
No, actually, I never thought of that.
Because Revolut has business accounts now and everything.
Oh yeah, that's very smart.
I'm a big Revolut stan.
To be honest, I actually don't need it. I just wanted a cushion of money just in case. Like, I wasn't actually really stuck for it. Like,
no, but it's always nice because if you ever watch those like Warren Buffett documentaries or whatever, they all say to like use your line of credit. Like, don't use your own money, use the credit.
Yeah, and I think I might need to start doing that or get like a credit card or something and do it that way.
We're now a finance podcast.
I just thought that was so rude, like.
Sure.
How dare you, whoever I was dealing with.
You could have got a loan of $1,000 from Bank of America.
Honestly, I'll be going to the loan sharks now next. And they'll be telling you don't go to the loan sharks. What are they expecting me to do? You won't give me a fucking loan, like. Arseholes. I'm beefing with them now. So until they rectify... So
you're beefing with all the banks. So what banks do you have?
Just the credit union. I'm beefing with them. I have no problem with AIB. AIB would fork it out in the morning. It's just I know that they have a higher interest. I'd want to pay that back.
Oh, yeah.
AIB are good to me now, I have to say.
See, because I when I went to college, that one time and then that other time. Do you know when you're in college...
There's that bank table to set it up.
Yeah, so I had so many bank accounts. But then I realised I was paying like the stamp fee or the €6 a month on Bank of Ireland. The AIB one, however much that is.
AIB is less.
Yeah, AIB is less.
And they do it quarterly.
And then, yes, that's the thing. So it wasn't coming out monthly. And then I was also paying for Revolut, like premium or something.
I pay for Revolut premium too.
Yeah, because you've the travel insurance, like the lounges, like Revolut I think is the best kind of benefits that way. I was literally sitting there, I was like, why do I have so many, like there's no need.
Yeah.
So I just need to figure out my banking life.
Yeah, same. I need to start using Revolut more.
I love Revolut. I'm a big, and everyone's like, oh,
in
Revolut
England
isn't
it's all I
trustworthy.
used. Like it's because I had a UK account on it. Whenever I travel, I use that account.
It's so handy for traveling.
So
it's
good.
so handy for the best exchange rates. It's so handy
good.
for like if you want to do a bit of crypto.
Yeah, and I remember like we used to like monitor the exchange rates and everything on it, and like some days it would be like, oh, it's like bad now, like check later and stuff. And I was like, I love it.
I'm a big, and you can have your little vaults.
Yeah, I hate, but see, this is what I don't understand now. This is where I go wrong, right? I have a savings account on AIB and I have my business bank account and my current account. They're all in my one, right? So I can access them on my phone. Cool.
Great.
Then I have Revolut, and then you can have the vault in Revolut as well. What I tend to do, which is stupid, honestly, I really need to talk to a financial wealth advisor because I am really silly, is I leave all the money in my business bank account and I take maybe €200 out here, €200 out there.
No, aren't you supposed to like pay yourself?
Yeah, you're
like
supposed to, but I don't do that. But anyway, so I don't put it into my current account. So if my phone died and I had nothing on my Revolut, I had all my stuff in the vault, I'd have no money on me. Cause
I'm the same. Everything's in my vault, and
Why?
Because I
try not
now.
spend, like.
Yeah.
So,
if it's in my current account, my brain does this thing, and I genuinely think it's the undiagnosed ADHD because I know people with that have an issue. If I see a certain amount of money in my current account, my brain will start thinking of ways I can spend it and things I need that I don't need. Yeah, yesterday I was like, Sean, I could get a new rug for my bedroom. Why do I need a rug for my bedroom?
Do you know, I had to cough up a lot of money this month for my taxes. And I was like, but do you remember we couldn't do the podcast because I was crying so hard.
Was
I was like,
slightly traumatized.
I was like, what am I going to do? Like, I have no money. I worked it out. I'm actually grand.
You're always,
I thought I'd have no money.
And especially by paying that amount of money, money's energy. So when you I don't know, I'm a big, now we're talking about finance and everything. My beliefs around money are very spiritual. Like, this is not financial advice. Yeah. But I always have believed that I'm going to be fine. Now, obviously that comes from a massive place of privilege. Duh. But I've always just trusted. Like, I remember I met this guy, one of my friends' friends, when I was in Australia. And he used to always say like, oh, the money's on the way, the money's on the way, the money, like the check's on the way to me, the money's on the way, like it's always on the way to my bank account. And like when I moved to Australia, like because I had been in Thailand on the way, and just like everyone's like, oh, I can't move to Australia because I don't have like 10 grand saved. Yeah. In my head, I'm like, I'd swear I had just about 1,000 Australian dollars.
That's so mad that you say that, because one of my friends said recently, how am I supposed to save up like so much grand for Oz?
Yeah,
and I was like, I don't know, was it you I heard it from, but I was like, I'm pretty sure I knew someone who literally went with like the bare minimum and she was fine.
But see, I am a lucky person, and I think because that wouldn't stress me out though. But some people that would put them on the verge of a nervy beat. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So
money used to stress me out, and honestly I got to a point where I was like literally living paycheck to paycheck. I was so broke, like I literally had nothing to show for the fact that I had like I was making money. And I was like so depressed, and I was like, oh my god, like what, like why is life like this? And then I went to Manchester. I was still living paycheck to paycheck, and you know what, I'll be completely honest, at one point towards the end, like I was taking like a loan off my dad at the end of the month, and I'd have to pay him back at the start of the month, so I was already down. Then I'd have rent to pay, and that's why when I moved home I was like, do you know what, I really want to move home and kind of sort my finances out. Because everyone's like, what do you do next? I was like, I'm just trying to fucking get financially stable, like let me figure out my shit, like, do you know what I mean? Because like some people are able to pay rent and save and I budget for shit. For a while I wasn't able to, but now I think I'm getting slightly better. Now I'm still terrible, I'm still very bad, but I'm getting slightly better, I feel like.
Yeah, life is so much more expensive now though.
Yeah, it is.
And the wages
is crazy.
The wages have not gone up to match that.
No, not
like,
at all.
In the slightest. Like I was talking to, I don't know who I was talking to the last night, and they were like, I don't have that much in savings.
No.
And my mom is always kind of like, oh, like everyone must, like your age must have like so many savings.
No,
like after
no one
this,
I know
after
has
that.
them.
No, because it's like you do one fun thing. Do one fun thing, and it's gone. Like I go to Dublin It's multiple €100 gone.
Yeah.
I don't know on what.
You know,
I don't know where it goes.
They did a study recently, and it was shown that in the study that people our age would rather spend the money on experiences than saving, because they say that there's no point because the cost of living.
See, this is the thing as well, is because a lot of people our age, late 20s, like we're the first generation who it's not normal to buy a house right now.
No, it's not.
Whereas like the generation before us were like married, house, kids. So we're the first generation where that's not possible for everyone.
Yeah, it's mad.
So then it's like, what do you, and how can you save that? Like, bills are so expensive, life is so expensive.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I'm going to spend money on like little luxuries that aren't even luxuries. Like, no, it's mad. But I am a big believer in, like, when I moved to Australia, I found an apartment within a day. I didn't have to pay a bond on it because your man was sound.
That's so good.
So I had
a deposit.
A bond as a deposit. I had
cool.
probably enough for like 2 weeks rent. I got a job straight away, and I was like, I'm just gonna figure it out. But see, those things wouldn't stress me. Whereas I know a lot of people would get crazy stressed by even the idea of moving to Australia and only having a certain, and also moving to Australia. I think you're supposed to actually have a certain, like, 5,000 Australian dollars. They don't check your bank. They don't check your bank account. Well, actually, no, they don't if you're Irish and white and have an Irish passport. But Vinny's bank account got checked on the way to Australia. Yeah.
That is so fucking racist. I'm sorry.
Sorry, the more you travel, the more you realise how racist the world is. Like, your passport and your skin colour has, like, every country I've travelled to, I've never had issues like getting into the country.
Yeah, same.
Obviously in Europe we're very blessed because, like, any European country obviously, but like Canada, Brazil, Australia, Dubai, like, I've always just walked straight through, and they look at my passport, hi, how are you, blah blah blah,
and then
you're in, and it's not a big deal. And then crazy. When I travelled with Vinny, who had a Brazilian passport and was Brazilian, it's just such a different ballgame.
And you know what? Like, because we were born and we have the like, Ireland is one of the best passports you can have in the world.
That's what I mean. Right? It's one of the strongest.
Because we have that passport and we were born white and we don't know any better. Like, we're ignorant to the fact that, like, it's actually harder for other people and that they'll be subjected to, do you know what I mean? Sometimes I forget about my white privilege when I'm doing it. I'm like, you're actually so ignorant to, like, that. Oh, not everyone can freely move like that, do you know what I mean?
Like, not everyone, you know, when you see these people who make these TikTok videos and they're like, just move across the world, like, change your life.
Yeah, I changed my life, I got this visa.
It's really easy for me to say that.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
right now, I can go to so many countries on a tourist visa. We can go Canada for 3 months, America for 3 months, Australia for 3 months. They can all get extended. Dubai, anywhere in Europe.
It's crazy.
Brazil, like, you can travel anywhere, and then you can travel and work so many places. Whereas, like, with Vinny, my ex, Brazilian, he had 3 options. If he wanted to move outside Brazil and work, first of all, it had to be a study and work visa, which they're more expensive. Yeah, so the countries do it on purpose. Like, the amount of money Ireland makes off, like, Brazilian international students. So crazy. He had 3 options: Canada, Ireland, or Australia. They were the only 3.
Oh my god!
So they were the only 3 countries in the world that he could move and work. But it wasn't like he could get a working holiday visa. He had to get a student visa.
Yeah.
That, number one, you have to pay so much money for a student visa. He worked, I think, 5 years.
Jesus.
To save up.
Just to go. Like,
just to go to Australia. Just to give himself that opportunity. The student visa was so expensive. The flights.
And, like, realistically, like, people in Ireland could decide in January and be gone by May. Like, do you know what I mean?
I decided in January. I was gone by April. Like, literally. And I think that's why as well, when you do have the privilege of an Irish passport and of being white, like, how dare you be like, oh, it's so hard to move.
Yeah, I think
and
that's
it's
so
not like
stupid.
Negating anyone's feelings, because obviously everyone has their own issues, but, like, we're so lucky.
Yeah, and, like, you know, people are like, what I think is crazy is people have it in their head that they're either doing Canada or Australia, and they're like the 2 ones, because they're like, oh, we're going there. It's like, you know, you can freely move around Europe. Like, you can literally live in any country in Europe. Like, you don't even need a visa to go there. Like,
the issue is, though, with a lot of European countries,
is they
depending
don't
on your
speak
job.
English.
No, but also you can move to Australia and be a waitress in a thing. Like, if you're a waitress in Spain.
Yeah.
But then again, the cost of living is lower, so I guess.
Oh my god, cost of living is so much lower.
But that's why a lot of people choose like Canada or Australia is like the potential to earn is whereas like a lot of Europe, unless you're like Josh who has like a corporate, you know, that kind of.
Yeah, Dubai as well, I suppose, because you're not paying tax over there is crazy.
And like teachers have such a better lifestyle in Dubai.
Yeah, I know somebody who's working corporate in Dubai, like one of the big four, and she's doing very well for herself. I'm delighted for her, like, but it's crazy to think, like.
But yeah, like we can go anywhere,
yeah,
do
and
anything.
which used to be in Tralee County Kerry.
So in astrology you have this thing called your north node and your south node.
Yeah.
And they fall, like, if you have one in the 6th house, the other will be in the 12th. Like, it's, or the 11th and the 5th, you know, it goes like that.
Yeah.
Like, or the 10th and the 4th. Like, it's across because a birth chart is a circle. So to say the 12th house is there, the 6th, it's directly opposite.
Okay, just say that instead of saying 10. Just when you say the numbers, I get confused.
Okay.
So, because you know the houses, I don't.
In
so
astrology, there's 12
opposite each other.
houses. So, but if you have your north and south node in the 6th and 12th houses, it basically means when, and I've always felt this way, when you live at home or when you're not meant to live in the country you were born in.
Okay.
Essentially. And when you do, it's not motivating. Like it's, you'll feel very much like stuck or chilled or like that there's like a glass ceiling on you. Whereas when you move away, you'll find it a lot easier to like
navigate,
have success or like just get things, like if you set a goal in your life, it'll happen a lot easier when you're not living in that place. But I found that out last night, which is really interesting.
I seen that last week and I did mine, and mine is that I'm supposed to make my money from creativity and all stuff like that, which I think I question mark over that because I have a very analytical brain. But
you could use that analytical brain in a creative space.
Maybe, who knows. It was
like
something
technically,
like it was like writing creativity, because I saw the whole wheel. I know what you're on about with the names underneath it.
Yeah, so the 5th house is what you're talking about.
5th, yeah.
Or children.
Oh, well, I do want to be a mommy now, to be fair. I swear to God, before we started,
like you could write like mom books. Like you're so into books, like you could write.
I'm definitely not going to write mommy books. There's a lot more. I'm a lot more interesting than that. Let's be honest.
No, but that's what I mean. Like, as in, you could write a book. Like that's the 5th house is all that kind of stuff.
True. It's so funny. I was just saying to Rebecca before we started this, I went on Facebook because we're going to give you an update on the story now, and it was like, you might be interested in mommy memes on Facebook. I was like, is the universe trying to tell me something that I don't even know about? Like, so guys, remember the group that we were reading you all these stories out to basically the week before Josh came on the podcast, two episodes ago.
Can we say the name of the group or no?
We can't say the name of the group.
Okay, so the groups that we were talking about, the groups on Facebook where girls...
Oh no, we did say it in the last podcast.
We did. Are we dating the same guy?
Are we dating the same guy? And they have it in all different locations
around the world.
Okay, now I'm definitely going to get kicked off the group now because I'm not even supposed to talk about
They mightn't even know about our podcast.
Yeah, true. Like, just nobody rat me out to it, please, because it's honestly my bread and butter. Like, that is my entertainment. I lie down in bed at night and I read all these stories, guys. So if you kick me off that, you're actually denying my happiness. So please don't tell on me. But anyway, so I'm in that group. I was telling you about it and I was reading a few stories out from it, which is also not one of the group rules you're not supposed to do. But I just feel like we're all friends here, you know what I mean? So anyway, Rebecca sends me a screenshot. I was like, hell nah. And do you want to take it from here?
Okay, so I'm going to try and tell the story without doxing.
Yeah, don't dox who you're talking about.
What's happening. So basically, someone I know in a location across the world, could be anywhere, was dating a guy, and she gets a message. So she's not in this "Are we dating the same guy" group?
No.
She gets a message request on Instagram, and it says, "Hey lovely," like those "Hey girly" messages. Oh. You never want to get a "Hey girly."
I've never got one.
I've never got a "Hey girly."
Thank God. Touch black teeth. No, don't make it up.
Would. I've never got a hey girly, but she got a hey girly. Hey lovely, I just wanted to let you know that basically a guy that you are alleged, I don't know how they knew she was dating this person.
Yeah, and
or
I
she'd
had a
gone on
query on
dates
this
with
afterwards, so
Yeah.
I think I'm
So a guy
query
that
on
you're
that.
alleged to be dating
Yeah.
is basically like a narcissistic, manipulative, like serial dater, hooks up with like multiple girls in the same day, like all this
crazy.
stuff. She gets the hey girly message
Oh God.
and she's basically telling her about this guy, that all these things are allegedly, but also I don't know how they knew this, but
This is my theory.
what's your theory?
I think they went into the girls he's following.
Probably.
And
Yeah.
probably to the most recent, you know, in the
Oh yeah,
recent
when
thing,
you do the refreshing.
and just message all of the most recent girls.
Probably actually.
Do you know what I mean? Or they could have been absolutely psychotic and messaged the majority of the girls he follows.
And like, yeah, and they probably check like girlies who are on those groups are probably like you in their detective eras.
Yeah.
Like it would be
And
very easy to decipher who's dating who, go into the likes.
Like, oh, it's the shit I can find out online is crazy. I always think maybe I should have continued with law and become a detective or something. Because honestly, I'm really good at it. So
she gets this message
Yeah.
and she sends me the screenshot and she's like, have you heard of dating groups called Are We the Same Guy? And I was like, number one, you obviously haven't listened to the most recent podcast
Yeah.
episode, because if you had,
you would know.
that I know exactly what that group is.
Yeah.
I send
Girls, I'm in like honestly about 6 or 7 of them for different cities. Like I'm not specifically just in that one. I'm in all of them. If there's one, I'm in it. Because I think bigger cities have the better stories.
better tea.
I'm
And also
sorry.
we talk to men from all over the world. So
Yeah. And also I just wanted to see, did anyone I know, I looked up my own brother in this group chat. Thank God he wasn't in it.
your brother's in like a long-term relationship.
Yeah, I know, but you never know. Like that group's been around for ages. Like, do you know? So, but obviously there was nothing about him in it. But I was just like, I need to just check. You know what I mean? So I was like googling people I knew in Manchester, and the Manchester one. I'm in all of them. Like, so I was already in it.
So I send the screenshot to Niamh and I'm like, you need to do some digging.
Oh God! And guys, a fire lit in my belly because
She was
live
so
for this
excited.
shit.
I
was
knew
like,
you would be as well.
She was like, "This is going to be a fun activity for you," and I was like, "Bitch, this has honestly made my whole day." So I go back, I look up everything. I have his name, his initials, the photo. I have such a massive reference point.
Yeah.
And I was searching. Nada. Couldn't see a thing. And I was like, something strange is going on here. It's a bit fishy. Because I made it as far back as April. Do you know they post in that group about like 100 times a day? So
Yeah.
that means I've made it all the way back to April. I have not seen one thing, right? And I still have a query because the screenshot that we saw had 78 replies underneath it.
Yeah.
That original post, gone, right? But
And your man's account on Instagram went private.
went private. So obviously, which also, girls, that is just not, says me who's broken every single one of the rules. That is one of the rules. You're not supposed to tell the guys they're in it. I think that's the main rule.
Yeah.
So
Someone obviously told the guy he's in it.
yeah, so I was like, we need to get to the bottom of this. So I posted anonymously for the plot of it
For
all.
research purposes.
And I made the post. Oh, here we go. And I did what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to write any tea or red flags, question mark, and then put the description in the comments. And I wrote, I was so
like, I did exactly what I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I did. I followed the rule book and I goes, "Hi ladies, my friend received a message about this guy saying he's bad news and it was mentioned in this group. We tried to check but couldn't find any info on him, so we're not sure if this is real or not. Any info would be greatly appreciated." And one of the girls goes, "I've seen this guy pop up a few times. The comments weren't the greatest from what I can remember." And I goes, "Do you remember anything that was mentioned? She's really shocked, as you can imagine." I just really wanted to know what was going on here. And then she goes,
It was like, I'm really shocked.
and I goes, "Honestly, I can't remember much and I don't want to assume what was said, but maybe look for a picture of his name." And I was like, "Sorry, I checked there, couldn't find anything." Said his name. I won't dox his name. And she sent on screenshots, and then I was like, oh, she goes, sorry if these are mixed up or been posted twice, but this is what I found so far. And I was like, you're an angel, thank you so much. And she goes, I'll see if I can find more later. And she did, which I love about this girl. And so we go into the screenshots, right?
Can I just say, women are so respectful. Like, these groups are so...
They really look out for each other.
But also, like, they're not they're not men bashing.
No, they're
groups.
just trying to, like warn.
I feel like if this was the reversal...
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, she didn't put out.
Like they would just talk so much shit.
Yeah.
Like, even in regular groups, like, Joe, the Irish around Sydney, if a girl posts in a photo being like, looking for a house, like, there'll be like 100 guys underneath, like, tagging each other, being like, oh, you've a spare room, ha, I have a spare bed, like, all that. Whereas this group is like, I don't want to say anything bad,
yeah,
just in case.
I just want you guys to know. I've matched with him a couple of times on Felt, which obviously must be an English thing. And I was like, we spoke a fair bit both on IG, WhatsApp, but never got around to meeting and just stopped talking. I got the impression he's just looking for no strings attached fun. And someone goes, I used to train with him. He's super genuine and friendly, but always on tour and flirty. I get the vibes he would only want casual stuff. And then one person said, is he from Liverpool? Oh no, that doesn't matter. And then... I can't say a few of these things because it'll dox him. Dated for 8 months last year. Defo just wants casual. And then someone goes, only slightly related, but after reading these comments I wanted to ask, does anyone else feel empowered to be less tolerant of red flags as a result of being in this group? And then it goes, FYI, this post has been screenshotted and shared by someone, hence why I've deleted my comment. So a lot of people
people started deleting their comment, which with... Wait.
It goes, yup, it's been screenshotted. He just sent me a message. Who did that? And then another girl goes, I won't delete my comment as he's already seen it. But that's really shitty, whoever violated the rules. So can we not comment anymore and help each other? And then someone goes, this is really poor. What has he messaged? And they were like 8 messages of nothing really, just saying not cool, remove that. He would never share photos of mine publicly, etc. I haven't responded. I haven't shared photos here though, just part of my experience. I'm just worried about what he thinks or will do, which is a red flag in itself. So
this guy knows he's being mentioned in this group.
Yeah, and it was like, as I'm not afraid of him as such, but more afraid of, I thought this group was a safe space. And then he goes, you didn't share the photos, I did. They're also public, they're on a public Instagram page, so that's why him in private. And then he goes, obviously there's a snake in the grass. Anyway, they were like, oh, I told him to stop messaging me, all this stuff. She goes, love bomber, unhappy. So apparently they mentioned he's very love bombing. And someone goes, someone posted anonymously yesterday about this guy saying she received a message of warning, which is the same thing that I messaged. So more girls have got this. I've received the same message and managed to dig for some more information. I'm afraid to say that it is real and he actually is very bad news. I now have nothing more to do with him after finding out. I actually managed to get the anonymous person I spoke to put me in touch with one of the women involved, and she's contacted me with her story too and given me bits about other girls too. He's extremely emotionally abusive and showed proof of gaslighting and narcissism. Person X, which is the guy, apparently knows about his photo going around this group, which is why people are staying anonymous. And then someone goes, I've had dealings with this man a few times and have absolutely nothing good to say. And then, so, right, that was grand. So one of the girls commented on my thing saying, awful, awful, awful. And I goes, any info on him at all? My friend received a message, same spiel I said in the original thing. And she goes, happy to discuss if you send me a private message. I sent her a private message and she never responded. So now I'm questioning, are you the snake in the grass? I told you I DM'd you back. How dare you?
Did she see your message?
Of course she seen my message. I DM'd her. I wrote back to her saying I DM'd you. It's been 3 days. Anyway. How dare she? But
so do you know what? Between that story now and the story that I said the last week about my friend with the sociopath.
Yeah.
She actually said we could share this story.
But let's wrap this one up before we go on to that. I think, right, crazy. Like, crazy, that what are the odds, right, if all the episodes have paid attention, that I mention this group and then we know somebody who's involved.
I feel like this podcast is imitating life. I'm not even joking.
Speaking into existence that we win the cash machine. Anyway, sorry, I'm just trying to put things out there.
It was 120 grand the other day. I know,
and somebody won it. It's gone down to 300 euro again now.
When it was 10 grand yesterday. It never goes, it's always a couple of grand.
How do they get the money for it?
Because you have to paid to text in.
Well, that's crazy that many people do it, but anyway. So we're going to move on to an even crazier story that she told me about before the start of the last podcast.
Yeah, so I referenced this story not in Josh's episode, the episode before. I said that my friend was dealing with a guy and he's a sociopath, but I didn't know if I could share the story or not because I hadn't been talking to her and I didn't want to just share the story. So basically, long story short, because it's a very long-winded story.
It's a very long-winded story, yeah.
So she matches with this guy on a dating app, but she actually knows of him because she is from
a certain area
where everyone kind of knows everyone. Everyone knows, oh yeah, I know that guy, he's really nice, he does this is his job, whatever. So she knew him and she had kind of met him in the past before in passing. So they were chatting for weeks and weeks and weeks. She went on a date with him, but it was very much so he was giving off the energy of like, you know when a guy gives off the energy of like, I'm trying to make you my girlfriend.
Yeah.
You just know. You know when you're chatting to a guy if he's just kind of more casual or if he's like very honest, very like communicative, sending photos, voice notes, videos, like very honest.
Very on it, yeah.
Very on it. When she went to his apartment for a date, he cooked her a meal. He was like, oh my god, I haven't cooked for someone in like 10 years. Bought her like favorite jellies. Like, was just very...
He was giving boyfriend
level energy. Or you could look at it and saying it was kind of a red flag because it was like too much too soon.
We would drink that shit up, you and me though. So we have to give her.
But I think also like I saw a thing recently. It was like this generation's too afraid of caring. Like I think there's such a fine line because someone caring isn't necessarily love bombing.
Yeah,
but true. I think there's such a fine line because it's like you want someone to care, obviously, and like any times I've got into a relationship and I've started dating a guy and texting, not that they've been love bombing with you, but they've been very upfront about their intentions and like that kind of way. And this is the way that guy was. He wasn't really giving red flags. So she was dating him, or she was texting him, but she didn't have like another date organized with him kind of thing. But she had met him. She'd seen him like more than once, whatever. So next thing, so I had been telling her, I was like, listen, because she's dating at the moment and she was dating a few different guys, whatever. Yeah. And I was like, listen, Venus is retrograde, not the best time to like get into anything new, like get into a relationship. Like maybe just date around, see how you feel, and just take everything with a pinch of salt for now.
Yeah.
Because I was like, also... weird shit could start happening when you're dating during Venus retrograde. An ex could come back, they could just ghost you out of nowhere, like all these things. So I get a message last week and she goes, you were right about this Venus retrograde thing. And she sends me a screenshot. Up until the day before, he had been sending voice notes, night babe, like, you know, being all flirty, whatever. So she gets this message, and I'm not going to say what the message says, but basically he was like, I've been thinking about how to write this message, yada yada yada. Long story short, he claimed that his ex had resurfaced and that it threw him for a loop and made him realize he wasn't ready to date, which like fair
enough.
Fair, so fair. But so basically she kind of texts back and was like, I'm a bit shocked, you know, didn't see this coming, like just blew her out of the water, because he was like, oh, my ex came back last week, but he was still like texting her like normal. Anyway, so she sends that message into her group chat, and obviously someone who knew someone in that group chat messaged her and was like, holy shit, that's the exact same message,
like copy and paste
down to the emojis,
like literally, because we saw the screenshots, it was the exact same message.
The exact same. That was the exact same message a girl who dated him last year got.
Mad.
So then your woman was like, what the fuck, like, so she texted him being like, you surely could have written a new message, like. So she was still kind of like, okay, basically this ex is coming back again and again. Anyway, the story develops that...
You're taking so long to tell
Sorry.
the story.
So basically, not only did he send that message last year, to the same girl, but there was actually 2 other girls who got that exact same message on the same day.
Literally, could you imagine that?
On the same day.
Like copy and pasted, not only to her, but to other girls. So like...
And he had been like, she got in contact with one of the girls who he broke up with on the same day. He was sending like the same videos to them, the same pictures to them, similar voice notes, like the timestamps, like it was...
That's a job, like.
He left your one's house and was sitting in his car outside, and he was obviously voice noting my friend. And everyone was like, why is he sitting in his car so long? Like, what's he doing?
Oh my God.
And he was... So
he was just keeping on top of his job, which is texting all these girls, like
literally,
like that job,
and then ended it all at the same day, and then probably starts a news cycle. Like, this is obviously
crazy.
But between that story now and the story about my friend with always dating the same guy, like, this is why people go back to their exes.
Literally, and
this is why people go back to what they know.
I will never go back ever in my life. You couldn't pay me money, and like mine weren't even that bad. And you know what? In like recent years, I look at like. I was very young, and like I tolerated like I left straight away, and like all my friends were like, yeah, he's crazy.
And like, this was someone that she knew, that she had vetted, that other people were like, oh yeah, he's so nice. Like, this wasn't a random stranger.
I just think it's crazy because like, especially like the area that they're in where this girl is, everyone kind of knows everyone.
Yeah,
and
it was like someone's lash girl who...
Yeah, like it's very easy to get information. So it's like, so you've done that for what? Like, it's crazy.
He's like serial dating, like serial daters actually terrify me.
They terrify me
because it's like they're so easy to not have emotion,
100%,
and not tie emotion to.
It's crazy. You know, this time next week I'm going to be at a wedding. Well, actually, when this episode comes out, I'm at a wedding in Spain. Yeah. I'm so excited.
That is so exciting.
It was so funny because my dad was saying, my dad listens to every single one of these podcasts that we put up, and so does my mom. Like, I'll be walking out, my mom's laughing, listening to the podcast, and she's like, Rebecca's very funny, isn't she? I'm like, yeah, she cracks me up. But my dad was like to me, he was like, oh, you know, at the end of the last episode we did before Josh, you said, oh, you never know, you might find someone in Spain. And my dad said, well, we better hope you don't go up with the Spanish waiter. I was like, Dad. And he was just like, well, you said it on the podcast. Like, you know?
I know, I always forget that like things I say in the podcast
are crazy.
People hear.
I know, because people say things, but like, guys, you think we're joking when you say me and Rebecca will finish recording this and forget what we talked about.
Oh, like literally we're like, oh, that episode wasn't great.
I genuinely think we black out for the whole
like, I genuinely think I talk, I say everything, and then I edit it. Like, at least I edit it, so I see, whereas you just get the finished product.
I just get the finished product. And she's like, what? Rebecca will text me every week, be like, what will we title it? And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck we said on it, Rebecca. Like, I don't know. But yeah, no, it's so funny. But like, so in terms of men, I wanted to ask you this, like, do you think with cuffing season around the corner that you're going to be partaking in any romantic activities?
Like, I think, like, I genuinely, I don't know, because I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't know what my options are, because I'm not.
You're not optionless.
I don't have no options.
Yeah, you actually do have options.
But my thing is, I'm not just going to start dating someone because it's cuffing.
I agree.
Because it's cuffing season, because like, if someone shows that energy and like puts in that effort and like wants to date me, like, I don't want to date anyone just for the sake of it. Like, that's not, because with my track record, every single person I've dated long term or past one date, I've ended up in a relationship with.
100%.
So I'm not just gonna, I would rather talk to myself than date someone that I have no interest in. Yeah. So if someone like
comes into your life, like,
yeah, I'm not closed off to the idea.
Yeah.
But I feel like you close yourself off. You're like, no, I don't want anyone.
You know, it's funny you say that. I actually think I have closed myself off in the sense of I'm like, I don't want anyone, so now I think I'm gonna force myself out there.
But I think it's just like, it's more like you never know who you're gonna meet. Like,
yeah, true, 100%. I think I'm at a point now in my life where I'm literally just like, I've just been so, honestly, like, married to the grind. Like, all I do is work all the time. Like, and if I don't, I'm filling my time up with spending it with friends or doing this podcast or running around the place. So I always say, like, I literally don't have time for it. But I, like, if it came into my life, I would. But my thing is, I think that I'm just so, like, shut down like emotionally, that I need to open that up a small bit and just try.
See, and also the more stories we hear, like the ones we just told,
just
the more...
It's honestly, it's like 10 steps forwards, 11 back for me.
It's like contraception. Like.
It's literally like contraception. I'm like, honestly, I'm fine.
Honestly.
But I've really good feeling about the next coming months. I've like really good energy about it. I don't know why.
Like dating wise?
Not even dating. I just think
life.
in life. I've like a really, really good feeling about like the next few months. And
well, I always live for Virgo season.
Yeah.
I am...
Yeah, see, and I wonder, am I feeling that because I'm a Virgo rising and now we're gone into the thing?
So you would be, because it's in your first house.
That's crazy.
So, like, Virgo's transiting your first house of self right now. So it's all focused on yourself.
Yeah, honestly, I just feel like I woke up today just so grateful for life. And, like, I just feel like the next few months are going to be so, so good. And I'm so excited about it. I just feel like when you take like a step back and you've like a dormant time in your life, and you like with my health and everything going on, I just felt like, oh shit, like there's so much bad things. But then I just like clicked in me and I was like, whenever something bad happens, like 3 good things happen. So my health hasn't been the best, but I might win the cash machine now.
You might win the cash machine.
Literally.
You never know.
You never know, like you actually genuinely never know, like.
I think the thing with us in dating as well is neither of us are trying to date in our hometown.
Yeah, no.
So
I don't think there's honestly anyone my age anyway. But I've never, like, since I was younger, I haven't dated anyone, like, since like one of my ex-boyfriends. I haven't gone for anyone in town.
No, I
don't think I've shifted.
We're from a very, very small town. We're not trying. I'm not trying to stay here. Yeah. So I'm not trying to date someone who's living here.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
So I don't know how. Like
how we're gonna do
how I'm gonna navigate that one, but
do you know what we really need to do now? I know we'll have a bit busy few months, but I think we need to go away for a weekend, go somewhere and have a load of fun, do for the podcast.
Do you know what? Yeah, maybe we could go to somewhere like Rome.
Yeah, we could go to Rome and we could podcast from the hotel.
Oh my god!
Like, do you remember the episode of Brie and?
That'd be so fun.
So good, the 3 of them in the bed.
Oh my. Me, you and who?
Ciao Bella. We'll find Paolo.
I've never been to Italy. Have you ever been to Italy?
Oh my god, yeah, it's literally the most beautiful country ever. Now, I've never been to Rome, but I've been to Florence, Venice, Lake Garda and Milan. 4.
Well, I've never been to Italy.
Yeah, I loved it. Love it. I have to say now, if I had to live anywhere, probably Italy out of all Europe.
Really?
You'd, like, it is so you. Do
you think Italy's me? Because everyone wears all black.
Now that I say it, Italy is the most you place. It's like you must have been from Italy in a previous life.
Do you think so?
It's like everything from like literal like beauty, elegance, but like stripped down beauty, like just naturally, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know the way we're always like do-face and casual. Kind of like that, and just like
I feel like everyone wears black.
Everyone wears black, lounging in the evening. Now you don't smoke, but they're very like cigarette, wine, and a load of bread and pasta. Like it's very like old, like kind of architecture. Like, but like say now Florence, you'd love because it's like nearly all this colouring everywhere. Yeah, it's stunning. Like even the buildings. I went to the Geordie Shore place where they used to be in the pizzeria. Where they used to work in it, and they wouldn't let us take any photos. But sure, I kept a photo of Polly D's t-shirt up on the thing.
And also they get nice weather, do they?
They get really nice weather. Now the only thing about Italy is like because of global warming, it's actually getting scary hot weather. But like I feel like if you got an air conditioned place, you'd be fine. I think you'd love it. I'd definitely be down for popping that. We'd have a little.
Oh, we could.
Yeah.
We could definitely make that happen.
Pay attention.
Pay attention takes European
Italy.
cities.
Yeah. Oh my god. That would be such a funny little...
That would be. Because Josh was saying on the last episode, he was like, do you know how Joanne and Vogue have that person in the background that tells them what they were talking about? I was like, a producer, Josh.
Yeah. You were like, we don't have the budget for that yet.
But once we do...
It's so funny, but when we do, they'll be just in the third background, just like, we're like giving out about men and it's just a man then producing the thing.
We could get anyone as a producer, technically.
Oh my god, I know, literally, like, it'd be so good. But we should definitely do that because I think that would be so funny for the plot. Also, like, just feel like it would be so chaotic that, like, we'd have to do an emergency one before the one of you release. Be like, guys, wait till you hear.
I just love, so what's your so you're going to the wedding tomorrow?
So yeah, flying to Spain tomorrow. Gonna spend the weekend with my family, which I'm really looking forward to because we're big family people and we are just a Brady bunch. We love spending time with each other, so really looking forward to that. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, so 4 days together in the sun. Then Tuesday is the day before the wedding, so everyone who's going to the wedding is meeting down at this area by the beach and going drinking. It's like this, I don't know, I think it's, I don't even know what it is, but we're going there. And then on the Wednesday, the wedding's on in this resort place, but it's like the whole thing is just for that wedding.
Unreal.
And then the day after is a pool party, bring your own booze.
Amazing. So
fucking excited. And then we're flying back on the Friday, so I'm excited. I've 2 dresses that I like. One's like really, really blue. And now that my bloating is starting to go down slightly, I think I might be able to wear it. The other one's like this colourful one that I'm not too massively gone on. I got my heels a size too small, like a dumb bitch, so I'm going to have to wear them anyway.
But where you're going to Marbella, aren't you?
Yeah.
They have massive shopping centre. It's unreal.
Okay.
It has like Hollister, like everything. It's Sephora. It has everything. It has a Pennies.
Do you know what? Might try do that because I have gold heels, but I got them a size too small.
It's called La Canada.
Oh yeah.
La Canada. It's like up in the hills.
You love a bit of Canada, don't you?
Canada has a big theme in my life at the moment.
See, I don't know. You never know. I just think it's a bit funny as well. But do you have anything else to say?
So that's the wedding. I have no plans.
You're going into your hermit.
So
Feral fall though.
Oh my, no. There's nothing feral about my plans.
No, but it's starting for me.
Okay.
I'm about to be the most chaotic version.
Yeah, no,
of myself.
I'm about to, like, for the last 6 weeks, my brother was home from Australia. I have so many friends around, so many plans, which I love. Summertime, social, Leo season, we got it. It's Virgo season now.
You're the opposite to me. I go hermit during the summer and I go feral in fall, but you go feral during summer and go hermit in fall.
Oh, I'm so excited. Like, my mom was like, oh, what are your plans now for the rest of the week? I was like, nothing. I was like, no one, and it's not, no one asked me to do anything like you'd be like, oh, like call up and we'll watch a movie. Yeah. We should do that sometime, actually. We should do that. Those plans I'm so down for.
Wasn't there a list of movies you said that we needed to watch?
We have to watch Something's Gotta
Give.
Give.
100%. Will I be crying at that?
No. It's not too...
I'm going to force you to watch Surf's Up as well. That was my favourite movie. Okay. So we need to do that.
But those like, one kind of plans...
Yeah, love that shit.
Love that.
Love that shit.
Love that. Live for that.
Yeah.
But the kind of plans where it's like, okay, on Monday I'm going for dinner, on Wednesday I'm going here, on Thursday I'm going here.
You had a lot of dinners, didn't you?
I had so many dinners. I had so many dinners and drinks. I had so many... Just a lot of food, a lot of drink, a lot of alcohol. I drank more alcohol in the last 6 weeks than I did between January and June. I'm not even joking. I'm so excited to not have any alcohol in my system. My brain feels like it's operating at a 50%. I'm downing the lion's mane like there is no tomorrow. I've all my supplements back on deck. So I organized my room yesterday, deep cleaned it, ordered like a new blanket on Amazon. Unreal. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited
to not have plans. I know. Because also I feel like I need to get back into my work era. Like I have not worked that much all summer.
Yeah, but aren't you doing right? Take the summer off for yourself. No,
I know, but
you do like
I feel like my creative juices are kind of flowing again. I want to bring the Hot Girl Guide podcast back. I want to bring
love that for you.
More consistent YouTube vlogs back because it's autumn now. I also I have Carly's birth chart to do today.
Oh yeah.
So I'm sending that to her. Yeah, so with the birth charts I put a lot of intuitive energy into it. Well as...
Because she witchy and stuff.
Because I'm witchy and stuff. So I like to train my intuitive astrology brain with each chart that I do. So they do take... Like if I'm not feeling good, I'm not going to do someone's birth chart. Because I'd hate for one person to get like really a better chart
than the other one. So you want equal playing field for everyone.
So if I do get a lot of orders, just trust that you will get it when you're meant to get it.
Exactly.
That's like, it's all universe thing. And I know that doesn't suit some people. But if that doesn't suit you, I'm sorry. But that's the way I do it.
Mine was so good. I really realised a lot about myself when I got it done. And she did my mom's as well. And my mom's was really good as well. So
I love them. So I'm going to bring them back. And I'm going to get into my... Because it's actually almost been a year since I started doing it. Because it was September last year.
Yeah, it was actually...
That I started doing them. I've done a lot.
You
I
have done
can't
a
remember
lot.
how much I've done, but I have
Like
done
you
a lot.
always are like, oh, I'm not doing thing, but like when you're not even working, you're still working. So it's
That's true. I just feel like I need.
I think it like when you work for yourself, it's really easy to be like, I'm not doing any work, but you are. It's just because you're not measuring it compared to someone else because you're working alone. Do you know what I mean?
True.
Do you know?
That's right. Like, I mean, I've probably worked at least 24 hours this week so far with like the podcast and editing that. It's just, I just need to reply to some brands, get some of that going.
I'll kill you
get
if
the
you
bank
don't start doing
account
that properly.
Get the bank account going.
She that's one thing about you that I'm like, fix.
No, I'm gonna
Fix
today, my plan for the day is, so we're gonna finish this podcast.
Yeah.
I have to do the sports pages for the Chile Advertising because I'm the
Stunning.
sports reporter.
Zolay.
Then I'm gonna do Carly's birth chart.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna reply to emails, and that's it. That's all I'm doing.
That's a very productive day.
It's only 3 things, but I think if I can get those 3 things done, great.
I need to go home and get into the washing machine before all my parents start throwing on washes for the holiday, because there'll be a bit of a backup there, I'd say, because we all left it last minute. Then I'm gonna pack. Then I need to wash my hair because I have hair extensions. It's going to take me about 2.5 hours. I need to change the sheets on my bed in the morning, so I need to wash sheets as well for tomorrow, which I'm actually really glad for because I think that I'm going to be in the house alone for an hour, so I think I'll get in there before everyone else does.
Stunning. So no one's at home now.
No one's at home, and then I just need to charge up my gadgets and get everything ready and packed for tomorrow.
Yeah, your list
medications,
of like
hair tools,
wallet,
hair care,
chargers,
everything that I need. I need
makeup,
one of those things.
skincare.
And I in between all of this, I have to work for the rest of the day, and I also need to have. I have a meeting at 6 p.m. this evening, so
I love how I'm like, I have 3 things I need to do, and you've just listed 100.
I actually think that I have a bit of a like adrenaline rush when it comes to putting myself under pressure.
Oh, last
that is
minute.
my shit.
That's why
I love working and being stressed.
That's
like,
why this podcast never gets edited.
Yeah.
Like, we're recording this today. It's Thursday.
Maybe edit it though a bit earlier so I can have a look at it before, because
yes,
I'll be
'cause
gone
you'll be in
Tuesday
Spain.
and Wednesday. Yeah.
So I will have to edit it. I might edit it tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, do tomorrow or Saturday or Sunday, but once I can see it at latest Monday, because I need to. What a queen.
We could.
And I'm gonna get you a surprise coming back from Spain. I have it in my head already, but I'm getting you. I'm gonna present it to you on the pod when you're not looking.
Oh my god, okay.
Okay, so
Exciting.
guys.
So yeah, we will see you. We don't have any questions a week this week because we didn't put up
so much
anything.
to call to talk about.
It was a
But
catch up.
this is a call out. We're gonna put up a thing, and I'm gonna keep resharing it for the next week, for the next few days, and you need to write in
Dilemmas.
dilemmas,
I want
topics,
dilemmas.
or
I want
whatever.
dating dilemmas. I love
Dating, job, or tell us a really funny
life
story
dilemmas.
of something you've done that's been either really passive aggressive, or something that you've done that you've never told anyone that's really like,
Yeah, tell us your secrets.
or your most embarrassing moment or whatever, and we'll share some of ours. So that is my request. And guys, we thank you so much for listening to us. We hope you enjoyed
thanks.
this episode.
Don't forget, we have 99 followers on Spotify.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this on Spotify and you're not following
And
the
there
podcast,
are hundreds of you listening to us, so
Yeah.
we know that you need to follow it. And follow the YouTube and the Instagram as well.
No, we just hit 100.
Oh, slay.
Big fat slay.
Slay. But,
3.3k total plays.
love you. That's just on Spotify, guys.
That's just
like
on
2
Spotify.
something on YouTube. So guys, love you so
Just
much.
a big slay. Hasta la vista.
Also, yeah. That's it. Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.